All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Muscle Discord live every Monday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern. And Ron Harris is late, but
I got you.
there he is.
You got to
We're
give him
live.
some mercy. You got his
We're
surgery.
live.
His shoulder got surgery, so you got to give him some late mercy.
He made it. He's probably drugged up a little bit. He's a little slow, but he's here. Thank you for joining.
If you consider OxyContin a drug, yes.
But he made it. I know you did your show earlier today too. So Ron has had oh wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Wow.
Got a whole new shoulder.
Yeah. Whole new shoulder.
Yeah, bionic.
You'll be back full steam training.
You can jump on stage and start dancing like everybody now, all the bodybuilders.
Yeah, we should talk about that one. I forgot about that. I didn't even have that on my list of things to talk about. Okay. All right. So guys, as you see in the title and the thumbnail, and as you've probably seen over social media, not good news. Okay. Ronnie Coleman has been hospitalized. I'll share my screen and we'll get into this. The statement that he made, or his team made, because Ronnie is unable to write this due to the state that he's in. Obviously, I don't need to read it again. It's just him, they're saying, as we focus on and remains on his recovery and well-being, we ask for you to understand and support, keep this environment respectful and free of speculation. And that was a bit ago. That was like 8-9 hours ago. And so obviously more information is coming out, and I have sources that are like talking to the team with Ronnie. And from what I'm hearing, and I talked to another YouTuber, you can figure out who it is, over 1 million subscribers. There's only a few in the space that have that many subscribers. Mm-hmm. And they're confirming that too. So pretty confident in what's happened to Ronnie, and it's not good. It's not good as of what I'm hearing right now. It's very, very, very serious what's happened to Ronnie Coleman, and it hit it's sad. It's sad, but I pray everyone needs to say a prayer for Ronnie. If you're watching, say a prayer that he recovers from this. They did mention that he, well, I've heard, but I don't want to throw stuff out there, but I do know that it's a serious situation, a medical emergency. He was supposed to go to the UK to do a tour over there, and it's not good. So, and I think you can kind of dictate from the announcement that was made that it's not good. The fact that he can't write the message himself, he can't talk to us. So, but I'll leave it there. It's sad. We're going to find out more. I'm sure some other channel is going to break the news and just put it out there. I want to be, respectful to the king, to Ronnie, and not put it out there. But I do know for certain what's happened to him, and it's very, very sad. So, hopefully he gets through it. Because he's the greatest. In my opinion, he's one of the greatest. I mean, I always say Lee Haney's the all-time greatest, but Ronnie Coleman's the all-time greatest of our modern day era of bodybuilding. And I don't think anyone can dispute that. And, and another thing too, when I was talking to the people that were talking to me about this, man, he works so hard. Ronnie Coleman's 61. I think he's 61, right? And he is, obviously he's dealing with his issues and having to use the scooter to get around, and he's traveling all over the world. He's doing these seminars and these store signings, and he doesn't have to do this. He's a multimillionaire. He's got a huge company. He could retire. He could just chill, but he continues to be a part of the bodybuilding community, going to all the shows and these events and giving back and giving his time back to the sport of bodybuilding. And, it's sad that he's in this situation, But Ronnie is the king, and you know he's going to fight through this, and he's not going to give up. And hopefully we see him running around the shows again soon. So sad note today in bodybuilding, and we'll just kind of leave it there. I don't know if you guys want to say anything about Ronnie, if you have any stories about Ronnie or any kind of take on this situation.
All I can tell you is that I met Ronnie a couple times, but I met him the first time in Boston for when they had the first, well, not the first, but when I brought Boston Pro back, and he was there, and he was just zooming on his little scooter, man.
Yeah.
And, me and Quentin and Bonac, we all had opportunity to talk to him. With a guy like that, which you've said in the past, how much people don't understand the level of pain he's in. When he's out and about doing his thing, and he still does it because of the love of the sport. And he's just an awesome dude. So that alone, with the pain level he was stating he was in, that nobody could really tell. I met him also at the grand opening in Florida in one of the gyms, and he's an amazing guy. That's all I can say. He's a very amazing guy. I've been watching him since I was a kid. He's part of the reason why I'm here, honestly. Lee Haney and Ronnie Coleman. When I saw Ronnie Coleman as a young man growing up, and I was able to watch him once on ESPN, to just look at him, especially when he was a police officer, it's remarkable. So, I can honestly say, without him and Lee Haney, I probably wouldn't even be here to this day. Like, I was that kid, just probably like Ron, looking at these muscle magazines saying that, I hope one day, I could buy all these supplements, because I was buying up everything I could find back then to try to achieve that goal. But he's a great man, a great family man. He loves his family. He loves the people. He's definitely in my prayers, and we will continue to pray for him. I think that he will bounce back from this. We just got to keep hope alive. And, that's all we can do. I love the guy.
I just want to say I was lucky enough to go to he used to do these workout weekends where about 20 to 25 fans, you paid a few $100, and believe me, he lost a lot of money, and there's no way he even broke even. So he was actually a few months up from winning his last Olympia time. But this is how generous he was to his fans. He invited you into his home, served you breakfast, had his whole family working for him, took you to Metroflex twice. We worked out in his home gym with him, took us to his church, took us out to eat 3 times a day. We all really got to know him, because even though it was like 20, 25 people, he made sure everybody there felt special, and he took time for everybody. And, I've never seen anyone in the sport that is just so selfless and was so into giving back. And this is when he was still at the height of his career. Never mind. He was about to do this tour with my friend Giles. He does those not for the money. He makes money a little bit, but I've seen the footage from when he goes to all these different locations, to the gyms and the seminars, that the people's faces when they get to meet their hero. That's what he does it for, is for these fans to get the chance to meet him in person, because some of them, that's been their dream for 10, 20 plus years, is to finally meet Ronnie and talk to him. And you could see the way these people just light up, and it changes your life. Someone like that, he's just so uplifting to be around, so positive. Never heard him say an unkind thing about anybody. Never heard anyone else say an unkind thing about him. And I just hope and pray he's going to pull through this okay.
Yeah, man. And people in the comments saying, their memories of Ronnie and things he's done for them. And I remember he used to do those camps where he'd have people over, like you said, Ron, and like, he just loves this sport. And the fact that he's had multiple back surgeries, and literally like a month later, he's in the gym training, probably even sooner than that, when he shouldn't be, but because Ronnie loves it. And he said many times, if I couldn't train, I wouldn't be here no more. I couldn't live without the weights. So that is Ronnie through and through, is the gym right here. This is what he loves, regardless of even, how he is right now with his back conditions and stuff, and he can't walk that much on his own. So he will continue, and hopefully we'll see Ronnie back in the gym. My experience with Ronnie, the first time I saw Ronnie was at the 1998 Mr. Olympia pay-per-view, right? So ordered it, and I saw him, I was like, holy crap, I'm hooked. right? And that was the rest is history from that Mr. Olympia. And man, like ever since, he's dominated the sport since then. And I don't think there's any bodybuilder that's come close to Ronnie in what he's done and the amount of muscle that he was able to put on and the conditioning he had. He set the standard for conditioning. I think he still set it. I don't think anyone's really surpassed it in that sense, to have the amount of muscle mass that he's had and the conditioning. And he had, good shape as well. So, we'll leave it there. I mean, there's not much more we can talk about. We can talk the whole show about Ronnie Coleman because it's just so much, right? But, he's in our prayers, and we wish Ronnie a speedy recovery because he is going to recover. He's going to get through this, and we're going to see Ronnie out and about again. So, give that a prayer to Ronnie tonight for sure before you go to bed. All right. So another update as well from Fouad. I guess he's recovering quick, right? We kind of had the same thing with Fouad when it first happened. We were all like, it's pretty bad. It's bad. And then he's up and walking already. So he said, there's so many people I want to thank for saving my life. Only some are in these photos. My mother, sister, many of the nurses and doctors also aren't in these photos. Ian stayed for a whole extra week to make sure I was gonna make it through. My wife has slept beside my bedside for 2 weeks. I just wanted to demonstrate in a small way how many people it takes to save a life, and to them I am forever grateful. And just to quickly want to thank all of your support. Hostile strong. So obviously you can see Fouad there. He's lost a lot of weight. Okay. I think he broke his neck, broke his leg. One of his legs, broke an arm. I heard that he broke his back, but I'm not sure if he broke your back, you'd be able to walk around that fast after breaking your back. Maybe someone could correct me there, but I don't think that would be possible, but who knows? But yeah, man, some crazy stuff happening in the industry. And he had a motorcycle accident. There's speculation as to what happened with that. I'll leave it until the facts come out about how the accident was caused, who caused it. But yeah, it's good to see Fouad is recovering fairly quickly after the type of accident, high speed accident that he had on a motorcycle. And it's good thoughts, good prayers for Fouad as well. So we got, again, crazy things happening, but we'll leave it there with Fouad. We'll obviously get more updates. He's more active now on social media now, so that's good. We had the Flex Pro Italy this weekend. So I think it was that Moro. So we'll quickly go over that, and then we'll go to the Mr. Big coming up this weekend. So we had NECKZILLA versus Andrea Presti. I think this is a pretty clear show. I had NECKZILLA winning fairly clearly. How do you guys think NECKZILLA looked? Did he look better here versus Dubai? Did he tighten up?
Yeah, I honestly think he did. I mean, we called it last week. I mean, we said, listen, if he comes in better, slightly tighter than he did the week prior, that the chances are promising, and it was. I mean, he did come back better. He did incredible job with his posing. I didn't watch the show, but I watched a lot of the highlights and a lot of the videos. He did a great job, man. It was well deserved. Congratulations.
Yeah, Ron, what's your thoughts on NECKZILLA's performance here?
I would speculate that he probably dropped anywhere from 6 to maybe 10 pounds from Dubai to there. He looked considerably tighter to me. He still lacks deep separation. I would love those thighs are so enormous. I would just love to see deep cuts on them. It would make them look that much better.
Like, see, there you go, right there.
Yeah, geez, those are ridiculous. Ridiculous. If he stopped training quads now and never trained them again, I bet they'd lose maybe an inch and a half in the next 5 years.
Yeah. He's got so much muscle on the quads, like Big Ramy. Okay, it's like they can't control it. They can't flex it to bring those deep. I don't know if that's the issue, but because the muscle's there, but then why isn't the deep lines there? Is it conditioning? Well, I don't know. I mean, he's conditioned, but he's not fully like shredded like Phil Heath, Ronnie Coleman condition. But he's got some striations in the glutes and the lower back. Conditioning is there. The pecs are striated, right? So why can't he get those? There's just no deep. There's no deep lines in the quads. So is that like deep tissue work that could bring that out, or did you guys, Phil? Do you get any deep tissue work on any like the quads or anything to bring out lines? Does that actually work? I never did it when I competed, but
I just believe in high reps and different movements of toes in, toes out. I never had an issue. I always had good lines in the quads, and to make them up high. Some people have striations in the lower and the middle, but then you won't see the separation come all the way to the top. And I think that's, sit back in the leg extension a little bit further back instead of upright to hit the elongated muscle. But I don't think that's what it is. I just think, man, the guy is just so freaking, it's so much beef there. Mm-hmm. I think, like Ron said, I mean, if he took some time off of just training legs and just did leg extensions, he only got to do nothing else but that. You know what I mean? I think it'll come in. I just think it's just so much beef packed on those quads. I've never seen legs like that, because even Big Ramy still has separation in his quads, but this level of size is. I mean, Ramy's a little taller than him as well, so yeah, man. Just stop doing legs for a little while and just focus on legs. I mean, it wants to come out. You can see it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just a matter of making it happen.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Just stop training legs. Right? He doesn't need to do a thing for legs.
Nope. Legs and calves. I mean, look at the size of them damn calves.
Yeah, look at the calves. Right.
When he hits that front double, I mean, his arms look pretty small, and I'm sure they're like 22-inch arms. I'm sure they're not small at all. But when you have legs like that,
yeah,
it just throws. It's a Frankenstein type of body to me.
And don't they say, Ron, like your biceps should be almost the size of your calf, something like that?
Well, here's the thing. Your bicep is supposed to be 1/3 the size of your tricep. Tricep is supposed to take up 2/3 of the upper arm. Right. Does that look like it's doing that in this shot?
No.
So his biceps are good. I think he needs a lot more triceps.
I don't think I wouldn't say Frankenstein. I think he's actually, for the amount of muscle mass that he has good symmetry and good shape and proportion. It's just that the quads, he's struggling to get the separation in the quads. He's 27, 28. Can he build up his biceps? Yeah. He's genetically, you should be able to do that. He's a freak. Can he work on the separation in the quads as he gets better over time? Yeah, I think he can bring that out better. The tricep, he has one of the best side triceps in the game right now. So I don't know if the triceps are like they're popping off the top of the arm there. Yeah. So I don't know. I think maybe it's the way he's posing. You can see the triceps. So I think maybe the posing a little bit too with that front double bicep. Maybe he can raise his arms a little higher. But you can see he's got the triceps.
He can put a little bit more size to his triceps. I mean, if you look at him to the side chest.
Yeah, here we go.
I mean, he could put a little bit more, because, I'm just imagining, Samson, Dauda, and all the top 3 bodybuilders, like, you know what I mean? You could see it can get better. I mean, as bodybuilders, we always can improve no matter what. But yeah. I think he could put a little bit more size on the tricep. I mean, the side shots looks good, but even still from the front double bicep, you should see a full arm from tricep to bicep.
Yeah, he can improve the arm still for sure. The delts need improvement because he's kind of like Phil Heath, where he's got the narrow shoulders and narrow clavicle. So he's got to build the caps on those delts to offset that narrow clavicle that he has. So right there, you can see the delts. You got to get him bigger. He's got to get him bigger to help balance out that lower half. So, but he's off to the Olympia. Yeah. If he gets his visa, he's going to do it. And he's going to the Mr. Big in Portugal this weekend. So good on him to continue. I think he's making up. For all the shows that he missed. He knows that it wasn't a good look. And now it's time to get some stage time and prove himself.
I mean, he's signing a paycheck. Yeah. He hasn't won any money, so
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
he's in the right place now to make some money.
Yeah. So good on him. Compete. You just can get better and better and better. So good on Rubiel. Looked great. He's going to Portugal. We'll talk about that in a second. Andrea Presti. Do you think he had any chance? Do you think this was the right call? Rubiel should have won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those legs, come on. I mean, those legs
Yeah.
are just awful. They're awful. I'm sorry. I like him. He's a cool dude. And I think he's got a fantastic upper body, but those quads, it's, he turns to the side. His side leg shots look good. But from the front, man, those are like light heavyweight legs.
Yeah, I don't like to say awful. I mean, they just need to be bigger, right? I mean, he's got the shape of the everything's there. He just needs more size to the front quad. The side quad is you can see is good. He's got really big hamstrings.
Yeah.
Like, look at that. That better than a lot of guys, which is crazy. And the glute tie-in is good.
I got to give him. I definitely got to give him some credit. I mean, because I competed on stage with him a couple times, and his legs were smaller back then. So I think he put a little bit of size on his legs. I think that he's from a conversation. I think he had. I don't know who he was talking to the show. It was Ian was busting his chops at the Orlando Pro and said, "Man, you should come and train with me so we build the legs." I think he had a scare back in the day, almost injured or almost tore something with his knee or something, and I think that's why he doesn't really push legs. So Ian was trying to influence him to come up there and train with him in Canada, but his legs did improve. I just think that in the past he got rewarded regardless, and I think now the judges can only say, listen, you need to fix this, you need to fix this. And once you don't, it's not going to work in your favor in any more shows. I mean, his conditioning is great. He has such wide shoulders and wide clavicles. It's ridiculous. And then when you start looking now, like you said, the side shots is great from the hamstring, but it's just the front quad, no sweep. There's no girth, beefiness to. I mean, if it was just a little bit bigger, but I got to give him his props, man. He did put a little bit of size on there because I remember them things were narrow as hell. Even at the Olympia, it wasn't that big when he was in the Olympia either. So he just needs to make improvements. I really feel for the guy because I know he's trying to make it back to the Olympia, but it's a tough road now. No matter what show he does, it's just going to be a tough road. Tampa's going to be lights out with athletes there. So, and Texas is going to be lights out because everybody now is trying to get qualified at these later shows. So, man, I wish Presti the best. Great guy, but I mean, the guy got some money, so it's not like he really needs to. He's paid.
Okay. Tampa's in 2 weeks.
No, Tampa is in 5 weeks because I'm going to be there. Because I fly out Monday, August the 4th. I'll be there that Saturday for the finals. Me and Pat.
You're not going to do the show.
No. I'm Tim already took care of it. We're going to be there watching the show.
Just to watch it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like, you should jump in that show. You should jump in that show, Eddie. Get in that show.
No. Everything is focused on this master.
Yes. Okay. All right. So that was the Flex Pro. Not again after that, the lineups. Some of these shows, the lineups are, I'm not going to say weak, but they're just not. There's a lot of guys we don't know. But yeah, so it is what it is with these lineups nowadays. There's like 2 or 3 guys, and then the rest is just drop right off, and you wouldn't see them on an Olympia stage. Just maybe there's one guy that might come out of the weeds one day and shock everyone, but it's just very rare.
I don't have a problem calling a show weak, Matt. I mean, I know it's going to hurt some feelings, but if I see a list of 15 guys in the open, I've only heard of 2 or 3 of the names.
Yeah.
You can say, well, you're an ignorant American. You don't know the best Europeans. Well, if they were that good, we'd know about them because they'd be doing better. I mean, I did a show at Big Mike Cox, and we were talking about how many pro shows were there back in the old days. We could only think maybe there were like 5 pro shows a year back then. 5, 6, 7. It was like nothing. And now, you have 25, 35 pro shows a year for open bodybuilding. Of course, you can't have a great lineup in every single one.
No, that's true. And, it's, I don't know what it says about bodybuilding, but I guess too, if you go to classic physique, we know the first 3, 4 guys, maybe 2 guys sometimes, and it's the same thing. The rest, nobody knows in classic. So I think it goes throughout all divisions, not just open.
True.
But it is what it is. I mean, that's how it is. And then this is the Portugal, Mr. Big Evolution. So here's the official list. Got Nathan D'Asher's on it. You got Rubiel. This Adolf is in there. I think he got, I forget what he got at Dubai. He got third here at the Flex Pro. So he's going into this one. Joseph, guy that always gets super shredded. He's in it. Bruno Santo. Oh, I didn't realize Bruno's doing this. Okay. I didn't realize Bruno was doing this. Okay, so Bruno, good. Okay, so this is, so you're going to have like 4 good, solid competitors in this lineup, 4 or 5 at least, right? So that's good. It's a little bit step up from the Flex Pro. And now this is the question. Now I had Nathan on the show, and then I had William on the show.
I saw that.
And fuck, that was.
You had them both on the same show.
I know that would have been crazy. They did it both, right? So we'll get into that. But Nathan, okay, this is the question. Okay, you got Bruno in there. So that might mix things up a little bit. So what's your first through fourth off this list? I'll go Ron. Ron, you go first.
Okay, I go Nathan D'Asha, Rubio Mosquera, Bruno Santos. Who else is in the show? I can't even see anyone.
Adolf, he got third at this weekend.
No, that's Adolfo. That's not
Adolf. Sorry, is that the same guy?
No, not the same guy.
Oh, it's not. Oh yeah, 16th. No, that's not him. Okay, what the hell?
So I don't even, after that, honestly, the only other guy I recognize on there is Joseph. So
Okay.
probably put him in fourth. He was in first call out in this show over in Italy.
It's Anthony Gel. You got fifth at the China. Who's that? He said that sounds familiar. Anthony. Let's see here. He usually does a little. Yeah, right here. Anthony. Let's just check this. Oh, this guy. Okay. All right. Go back. So Nathan, yeah. So he's pretty much lining up. He's got NECKZILLA, Nathan, Bruno, Joseph, Anthony. Okay. Phil, who do you got?
I just got 3, man. I got NECKZILLA. I got NECKZILLA, possibly. Shit, man. Nathan
tough.
Better. I'm gonna go NECKZILLA, Nathan, and Bruno.
Okay. Yeah. So the Dubai Pro. Here's my thought process as trying to make this prediction. Dubai Pro, Nathan got 4th, NECKZILLA got 6th. Okay. Fouad got ahead of NECKZILLA. Now NECKZILLA is improving. He's getting tighter. If this NECKZILLA that we saw this weekend at the Flex Pro was competing in Dubai, would he have beaten Nathan?
At the Dubai?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
If he was this type of, because NECKZILLA's tighter now.
He's tighter a little bit, but we're trying to look at the placings where he was at. Like you said, he was 6. So let's say he was a little tighter. I mean, that's a big jump to move up. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm just pointing out he just won a show. Probably he's going to come in even a little bit better, lights out. I don't know. I'm just going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Why I picking him to win this show coming up. But other than that, no, I don't think the guy that came this past weekend would have improved in the Dubai show with the same conditioning.
Okay, so you have NECKZILLA beating Nathan
by 1%.
But okay, 1%. Close show.
It could switch either way. You know what I mean? I just hope that Nathan said he's going to come in even better for this show than his last show. I just hope he mentally keeps his mind right and come into the show and do what he needs to do and not come in with a grudge on his shoulder, because it can go a little differently. So it could go either way, man. Like I said, 1% I'm giving NECKZILLA. He looked incredible this last show. He can, if he come in even a little bit better. I mean, now it's the show with him and Nathan.
Yes.
I'll say this: if it's close and he still beats NECKZILLA, I don't want to hear anybody talk shit about the judges and politics, because
that's true.
The judges could have every reason to say, "Screw you."
Yeah.
You said we suck. We don't know how to judge.
Yeah.
You screw me over every time. So it would be understandable if it's close that they would just give it to NECKZILLA because, screw you, Nathan. You talk so much crap about us. But I don't believe the judges are vindictive like that anymore. In the old days, they could be.
Oh, yeah. It did happen in the old days. Like in the 60s, the 70s, it happened. Oh. And it was so bad that they had to make rule changes because it was just out of control. So I've been watching these Iron Historian YouTube documentaries of like Lee Haney and Arnold and and Sergio, and they talk about the judging and how Arnold shouldn't have won the last one, and it was this great. You could check out that YouTube channel. But it was bad back then. But yeah, so I have Nathan winning, marginally winning over NECKZILLA. If Nathan makes the improvements that he says he's going to make, and controls the stomach, and doesn't have the watery kind of bloated, because he did look a little like he was sweating on stage and he was struggling a little bit, like he overcarbed or something, and he ate too much and he wasn't right, so it wasn't sitting right in his stomach. So if he can come in look like this, like dry and tight midsection, yeah, he's a veteran. He's won 11 pro shows. He should be able to beat NECKZILLA, right? NECKZILLA was up against Andrea Presti. I'm not saying anything bad about Andrea Presti, but Andrea Presti isn't Nathan Diasha,
no, he's
right?
not.
Right. So and Nathan's got the thickness. He's got the quads were bigger. He's improved. The conditioning is at his all-time best. I think, as you can see right here, he's got the glutes shredded. So he should technically be able to beat NECKZILLA, who is a young competitor, 27, still learning his ropes, and maybe going to get a bit of a wake-up call when he stands next to a veteran like Nathan Diasha. So that's why I got Nathan. If he brings it, if he's off, NECKZILLA can beat him. I'm gonna put that out there right now. But if he's on, he should be able to technically, with his structure, symmetry compared to NECKZILLA, should be able to beat him. So that is the Mr. Big Portugal coming up this weekend. And Horse MD doing classic. What's your thoughts on that? We didn't discuss that yet.
Good
Horse
move.
MD. Do you guys like it?
I think it's a good move. The only thing I don't know is because of his legs. I think it's a good move though. He's really struggling in the open. He just is, and I think he came from classic. Am I correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it might be a good move.
I always thought his waist, even in the open, was a little thicker. So I'm like, if he's going in the classic, and you already have the waist, even though he can do the vacuum stuff there, so maybe, I don't know, from the back is where in classic he's going to get beat by some guys, but from the front he looks great for classic, but from the back I think that's those shots he's always going to lose to even guys like Dino and Urs. And
I don't think he's going to be on that level.
No
disrespect. I think he'll do well. They'll probably win a classic show, but you're talking about the top 5. I don't know about that.
Oh, there's the back shot. Ron, what do you think? Horse switching to classic.
I personally liked him better as open. I'm not even sure he ever competed in classic.
Yeah.
Did he? I know he turned pro in classic, but I only remember that one incident where he didn't make weight, and he was like, they thought there was like a scandal that they were trying to let him slide, even though he was like 8 pounds over the limit or something.
Yeah, I remember something like that.
The weigh-ins were in public, and there were people around looking at the scale. But I liked him in open. I thought he belonged in open. He didn't do that poorly, did he?
No, he didn't. So I'm surprised that he is making this move to classic. So I wonder how much muscle.
His legs are just so overpowering. Just look at his shoulders, his back. As an open competitor, now if he would have jumped in like these shows that don't have a lot of top names in here, he probably would squeak it out. But I think he's looking for a decent Olympia placing. I think he wants to be possibly in a top echelon of the classic physique. He knows he's not going to be able to do that in the open. It's just that his legs are so freaking freaky, and he just doesn't have the shoulders, the wide clavicles. He just doesn't have the upper body. Man, if it was just a little bit bigger, the legs just offsets everything.
There's it. Yeah, you mean classic? You can't have huge dominating quads in classic. Then it kind of skews away from being classic.
So how does he downsize those?
I don't know. How's he gonna make weight? That's the question. I don't know.
If he was having trouble making weight before, and then he put a bunch of muscle on after that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, I don't know what he's going to do. He's have to go natty, go on TRT only.
Yeah.
Stop
Must have.
eating?
Look at these things. You can't.
Look at that.
That's. I don't know. Jeez. And he's in his 20s too. He's not really old or anything like that. So he could have kept plugging away at. There's a good shot at open.
Yeah, just build his upper body. He just had to focus on building his upper body.
Yeah, look at this. They're good. He could have done well. I bet you he's going to do classic like Regan did and be like, nah, this ain't working. I'm going back to open, because Regan did the same thing. And it just looked, it was so hard for him to make weight. He looked flat and depleted, and it just wasn't a good look. And man, you had open, you could be free and not worry about trying to make weight and just, you know, be full on stage and stuff. Now you got to go do classic. I don't know if that's the.
What's he gonna? He's gonna have to lose like 30 pounds of muscle, pure muscle.
100%.
If he holds up with Chris Aceto make him make that weight.
Yeah.
Well, here he looks downsized there.
Yeah, I think he started downsizing. I mean, we'll see, man. I wish the guy luck. Hope he does well in whatever adventures he decides to do.
Yeah. He's good. He's set. Let's see if he posted any updates. 20 minutes sauna. He's doing cardio.
So is he in the show this weekend?
Yeah, he's in classic.
Okay.
So he's doing the show.
Interested to see how he looks.
Yeah, he's posing with Dino. So he's in shape. Condition from there, we can see looks good. And what's the cap? Was it what does Cbum have to compete? I think he's like Cbum's height.
I don't think he's quite as tall.
He's not? Okay.
Yeah, Cbum isn't he like 6'1"?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm 6 foot, and I think Chris is a little taller than me.
Chris's height is
right there.
Debate many times. I mean, right there, he looks like he's taller than Cbum. I know he's not. I think he's closer to the camera.
Yeah, he's a bit closer. But you can see the difference. He's much more thicker. Well, obviously he's a bodybuilder compared to a Cbum. Well, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if classics. Look at the legs compared to Cbum. Like, I don't know if it's going to work. But
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyways, that's Horse doing the classic at the Portugal. What do I got on my topics here? What do you guys think about this? The ab and thigh shot. Okay. Nathan called out William Bonac on that. That a lot of guys are doing which this is kind of like a signature pose for William, is that kind of side oblique pose. I'm trying to find it here. That William hits all the time. Right there.
There it is, yeah.
This. Okay, this is his front ab and thigh pose. This is it. This is in front. So
here's the thing. A lot of people don't understand. A lot of people hit different ways of doing their side tricep as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They'll step with one leg out instead of the conventional side tricep, or they'll do the tricep like the classic physique type style. I don't think there's an issue with this at all. I do both. I'll do both hands over the head, and then I always come with the side obliques. I like the side oblique shot on William Bonac. It just display a somewhat of a smaller waist compared to a full-on shot where I don't think his waist is going to be that appealing. He can hit the full-on shot, then switch into the side oblique shot. I do it all the time.
that's fine. That's fine.
That will be fine as well, instead of just hitting that from there. I think he should do both, but I think the judges, man, whatever fits your physique to help you be more competitive on that stage is what I'm going to assume is the call. So I watched William on your show, and I think he said that, someone told him this was a shot that fits his physique for that ab shot.
Tyler Manning.
So that's understandable. If the judge is saying it's okay. Once again, side tricep, everybody hits the side tricep differently, so we can make a complaint about that as well. I watched the video. William is an old school. I fully respect what he's saying. And the whole crybaby thing. You know what? At the end of the day, let's not cry, man. Let's not. They're supposed to have the same coach. Is what I don't even understand. Like I never did it, nor will I ever do it. Is come off on anybody on the same team as me, or just being a man. I'm not going to sit here and, like William said, he didn't say one word to him in person. Because we all know William's gangster. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't say one word. So at the end of the day, man, how he hits his ab shot is, as long as it's okay by the judges, it's fine. I don't see an issue with it.
Ron, should they hit it straight on first?
Well, if the judge gave him a pass to hit it that way, then I can't argue. But if I was the judge, I would say no. You have to face front. He's turned to the side here. That's not an abdominal and thigh shot. It's showing your serratus primarily. You can't really even see the abs that well in this shot. What Phil said, yeah, if you want to hit it the standard way, facing forward with your hips forward, and then twist to the side and show your serratus, that's fine. But this does make it, to me, look like he's trying to hide something, trying to hide a wide waist, a thick midsection. If I were to judge, and I'm not, but I wouldn't allow it.
Because Hadi does it. Hadi hits the conventional, and then he hits, because he wants you to see those freaking fingers.
Yes,
and he hits the serratus. So I think you should have to. And I thought in the past, I was told you have to, even with the side tricep, you have to hit the conventional, and then you could change into the one leg out, the classic type move. So I don't. It should be the same thing with the ab shot. Agreed.
I think it should be head on first shot, so the judge can, compare everyone's symmetry in that pose, the abs, which is what it's about, both thighs facing front forward, ab and thigh. Judges should be able to score that. They can't, but if you're just going right into this right off the bat, they should be automatically scored down and like not even compared, because you're not hitting the proper pose. It's like if someone says hit a front double bicep and you hit a back double bicep, you're not even hitting the right pose. You're hitting so it's the same thing. If you're hitting an ab side oblique shot, when we're saying front ab and thigh, then you should be marked down for that. I agree. Hit the ab and thigh first, then like Hadi Chupon, to throw a little finesse in there, show the obliques, show them how shredded you are. Go ahead, but don't do the first pose as this pose for the ab and thigh. So judges, Tyler Mannion, Steve, please call these guys out if they hit the pose like this right off the bat. Please do it, so it's fair, so the audience can see everyone compared from the front ab and thigh shot. I don't understand why it's not called out. I don't understand why they get to hit a pose that makes them look best. I get it. You can do that in the posing routine. You can do this all day in your posing routine. Show your best shots. But when it's mandatory poses, all the athletes need to hit the same pose. Right? Now, Phil, you're saying the side tricep. One guy might stick a leg back. One guy might stand it straight up and down like a side chest. Right? Side tricep pose. It's a little different with that because it's just the arm to the side. You can't, your whole body's still to the side. It's if they twist their leg out to the front, right? Somehow guys they'll twist their leg out to the front on the side tricep.
That's like the classic physique style.
Yes.
That's done that as well.
Yes. That, I don't think you should be doing a side tricep like that. It should be fully from the side. So I see what you're saying there too, with that.
See, the most pleasing part about that, because Ruffin does it, if you have a nice waistline that you're trying to, you can still see the waistline for the traditional way. I believe, this is just me, I'm more flamboyant and finesse. So, I could hit a standard front double bicep, then I could hit it like Sean Roden and put that twist to it. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes I'm all about flamboyancy, like not just be on stage and just be that big, huge, blocky dude and standing there hitting Hulk Hogan poses. Be finesse about it. So long as you hit the traditional and then you want to switch into, it's fine. I always hit the traditional side tricep because I was always told the minute I turn into that leg out and twist, it looks really different. So I try to do a little bit of both. I never just stick to one because I firmly believe the poses are the poses and we shouldn't be, implementing anything differently. But I just, I see Ruffin do it, man, when he does, even though it is a classic pose, that's why they do it. But I think that sometimes Sean Roden, man, he was a king of it. Like just the way his body flowed and the way he hit these poses. That's just my opinion. I like posing that way. A little bit of both,
Yeah. I'm all for doing a variation of both, but I do think the athlete should hit the first shot first, and then they can transition and do the finesse stuff after, once the judges have gotten a good analysis of it. But I don't think they should hit it for like a split second and then go into do the side oblique right away and just forget about like that's right. They try and get away with it, like right. So, and even Derek Lunsford got told on that, like he was always doing the vacuum, he wasn't hitting the ab and thigh, and then they said no, hit the ab and thigh, and he started doing it, and he's actually looking pretty good in it now. So, yeah, I just I hope the judges start calling them out on this stuff. And
that last comment you put up, Matt, said if y'all watched the interview, Matt, you did the interview. Obviously, he watched the interview. What the hell, dude?
Yeah. This one right here.
Why do people have to put y'all anyway? Oh yeah, y'all.
That's that street talk, man.
Yeah.
Y'all.
Yeah. No, we're not blaming Bonac. Bonac said, "Hey, I'm allowed to do that. They're telling me I can do it. I'm going to show my best shot." Of course, Bonac's going to take advantage of that.
Sure.
Right. So we're not. It's the judges that are the ones telling them to do this. So we can't blame the athletes. The athletes are doing what they're told they can do. So that's where I think it needs to be kind of straightened up a bit with these poses, because how the hell, when these shows are so damn close, can you judge people hitting different shots of different variations of poses when it's easy? These are just simple poses. Hit the shot. Everyone should be able to hit it the same, and may the best man win. So that's William versus Nathan. Now, yeah, I mean, again, there was a lot of back and forth, and yes, Nathan is very outspoken with regards to the judges. And do I agree with that take on calling out a judge? Well, he was really adamant about Steve and that Steve's fucking him over, his words. Yeah. I don't think Steve is personally, I don't think he's fucking him over, because he's been in shows where Steve judged him and he's won. Yep. So you can't say, well, right. So I got to defend Steve on that one, at least, because, if it was that the case and Steve was judging these shows, and Nathan would never win if that were the case. There's no, like, what is it to Steve to do that? So I just think it is what it is. The lineup was the lineup, and I do not think Nathan was at his best on stage. He looked at his best coming into the show, but something happened when he got on stage, and he was a little bit sweaty and a little bit bloated in some of the shots. He was struggling, and it is what it is. He got fourth. So we move on from that. Yeah. Yeah. So we got that. What's on my list here?
The dancing. We got to get to the dancing.
We'll get that. We'll get there. We'll get there.
Behind schedule last week anyway.
Yeah. Cbum. Do you think he's making a comeback here? Prime time.
Because Tarek said he thinks he.
Yeah, I don't think. I don't think Cbum is making a comeback. I don't know where that post is, anyways. But do you think he would come back with his health and immune system? And
I guess the question we want to ask, why? For what reason? I mean, the man done accomplished everything you could possibly accomplish in the sport of bodybuilding, right? He has tons of money, doesn't need it. Even when he was competing, he's making more money in his sleep than he's making winning any shows, right? So to come back, he would literally have to come back in the open. Is the health risk worth the reward to even do that? I say no. But it's Tarek's job, though, to start this going to influence a possibility. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, Ron, what do you think? Do you think he's making a comeback here?
I think there's like a 1 in 100 chance. Said he's got a child now. He has no incentive unless someone's in his ear or he really needs to win the Mr. Olympia. He's got 6 classic. He retired before he was even 30, or was he 30, with 6 Olympia titles. multimillionaire,
Yeah.
he's got business ownerships. He's got millions and millions of fans. I don't see any reason, unless it's like an insecurity thing, like, oh no, people are going to forget about me. No one's going to forget about Cbum, dude.
No.
He's good.
Yeah, I agree with that assessment. I think, first off, if he came back, would he win?
He's not going to win the Mr.
No.
Olympia. He's not going to
So-
beat. He's beating all these guys, Samson and Adi. Come on.
He didn't beat Martin Fitzwater.
Exactly.
So he knows. He's not dumb. Like, he's an educated man. He knows that he goes to this sport. He's not going to beat Samson and Hadi and Derek. Maybe, I don't know.
The devil's advocate, people are going to say, well, he didn't beat Fitzwater because he just did classic show 2 weeks before that.
True.
They're going to say if he took an off season and put on 20 more pounds of muscle, but to do that, he doesn't need the 750 juiced up to him. He makes more than that. He makes a lot more money
Yeah,
than that.
he makes that in a month or whatever. Yeah.
The health impact that he would have to endure to put on 25 more pounds of muscle, the gear, the food, and he's got Berger's disease. He's got a genetically predisposed kidney issue that he's been hospitalized for. I don't see him taking that chance. Why? Unless he was broke and he really needed to. He's not broke. He doesn't need to.
It may not, and sometimes it's not even about the money for these guys anymore. They just want that. Okay, I can do this. I'm competitive. I want to win the Open, Mr. Olympia. But
I mean, that's like a football player coming back to play at freaking 40-something, 50-something years old because he don't know to stay retired. You know what I mean? If it's not for the money, why would you come back just because you want your names to be up in the lights? Listen, Cbum, that's a freaking statue of itself. He'll never, he could stop competing and never come back. Just show his face up in shows. There's still going to be a line waiting out to sign for his autograph. I just don't think it's worth it. No ego is worth knowing. Like I said, the level in the Mr. Olympia is too tough. I'm not saying he could never do it. It's just not happening. The level of muscle he will have to put on, it's just not worth it.
Yeah, he'd have to push his body to the limit. He's playing catch up with these guys that are outweighing him and the Samsons and all that. This is not going to happen. So he's not coming back. Terek's just trying to drum up Olympia hype.
That's fine.
It is what it is. He can do that.
You know what's it's not a good analogy is Dana Lynn Bailey, DLB. She never came back. She's been gone a very long time. She would need a lot more muscle to come back and hang with Natalia and Sarah and these current physique women. She'd need a lot more muscle mass. But again, massive fan base, millions of fans, makes tons and tons of money. She's still relevant. There's no reason for her to come back. Cbum never needs to come back. Like Phil said, I remember so many of these like Meet the Olympians where the line for one guy would be like 3 people. And the line for Cbum was all the way around this giant ballroom where people would wait like 3-4 hours just to the chance to be close to him.
Ramy.
Why
is he training like this? You think he's just training for fun like this? Think he's
gonna... I don't think he's just training for fun. I just don't know if Romney knows what he wants to do. I think he believes he has to be put in a position. His body has to be where Steve and Tyler are saying it needs to be for him to be back in the limelight of competitive bodybuilding. I don't think he gave up. I think he wants to make a return. He even said it himself. If he's able to fix the problems and be like his old self, he'll come back. So I don't think he's just. I think he really wants to make a big effort to possibly do the Olympia. That's what I believe.
Ron, I'm going to wait till Ron. What do you think first?
Well, I mean, I don't know if he's coming back or not, but this year, Panada's paying him. Rudy Panada there is paying him a lot of money to be one of the representatives of the equipment. So, it behooves Ramy to train really hard on the Panada equipment for this content. He does look like he's still got most of his size and everything. But those issues, like Phil mentioned, has he been able to resolve those issues? The atrophy that we were seeing in certain areas? Because if he comes back like that, the game keeps moving on. There's new talent every year. It doesn't stop. The sport doesn't stop for anybody. So it would be a tough road for him to come back. Does he want to come back and the best he could possibly hope for is like 5th or 6th place? Yeah. No, he's a 2-time Mr. Olympia. Why would you come back unless you thought you could win again? Maybe you can. Maybe he thinks that. Maybe he can. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think right now, I just don't see it happening. even if he was somewhat to fix the issues, the level of the competition is just ridiculous right now in the open bodybuilding, especially at the Olympia level. I just don't see him. After watching how far he placed in his last previous shows, I don't see no coming back from that.
Yeah.
I just don't. I think it's just going to hurt his legacy to even come back and then do worse than what you did before you left. It's not worth it.
I think Ramy could come back and he could be in the top 5. To me, like when I see Ramy here, this is recent, a couple weeks ago, him training, the face looks jacked. Like you could tell he's cycling, you know, he's on it. So I would not be surprised if Ramy is on the stage this year at the Olympia. And the Olympia keeps posting things of Ramy. Like, you know, when they got a plan, like something's happening.
I mean, a good example is, oh my God, I just lost my thought. Brandon Curry. You know, Brandon's never going to win the Olympia again, but he's still in the top 5.
Yeah.
Did he slip last year down a little bit?
He's 8th.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's still competitive.
Or 9th.
Maybe Ramy, if he could still be competitive in the top 5 or 6, it would be worth it. It wouldn't be humiliating for him to stay there. If this is what he really loves, this is his passion. Because he needs, you know, we don't know what's inside these guys' heads. So when we talk about do they need to do it, we don't know what really drives them and what they want to do. And I don't know what Ramy wants to do.
It'd be cool if Ramy came back and did the Pittsburgh Pro. Right. Give, you know, make up for the missing the guest posings. Right. And but yeah, that where was the other one I wanted to quickly go over here? Roelly. What is Roelly doing? Does he think is he getting ready for something? Why does he look like this?
He's not looking bad. I don't know what he's getting ready for, but Roelly is looking pretty damn good. I saw the picture.
Yeah.
And once again, he said if he can get his body back to the old Roelly, he will think about coming back. And I think he's on a mission to possibly come back. When, I don't know, but he looks damn good.
He's very good. Genetics. Got the genetics to do it. Now, do you think he would ever do the Masters? Is that something that, is it too late for him to even get on the list?
It's too late. I mean, I already, like months ago when we asked the question, it was basically who's on the list is on the list. For anybody to get in, I think it's only Tampa's too late. I just don't see it. He would have to literally win a Masters that he can. I mean, he could win it easily, you know. But I don't think that's what he wants. I think Roelly wants to come back and stand with the best of the best in the world and see if he can bounce back. I think he can. His waist looks good. He's round. He's full. His chest is like, I mean, you could set a cup on his chest. He has the rear delt, the middle delt, the front delt, the biceps, the triceps. I mean, the guy looks ridiculous in this shot.
Yeah. Crazy. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if he comes back. It'd be cool to see him come back.
Wouldn't it be crazy if he jumped on the Texas Pro stage? Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Why would he be looking like that if he wasn't coming back, though?
I know, you're putting your butt. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's something. It could be a possibility. It could be a show that, I mean, there's a couple of them left. Was it 6 of them left? Something like that? 6, 7 shows left? Yeah, we read 9. I think it's like 6 or 7 left.
Yeah. He must be feeling good. Like his body, I think he had shoulder surgery or something. So he must be feeling good. I want to get your thoughts on this too. Let's see if I can play this.
Which I thought was absolutely ridiculous, but given the platform, it doesn't shock me.
It was my platform. Anyways.
That the Olympia should possibly consider an invite type thing like the Arnold, which I think is the dumbest thing I've ever heard, honestly.
100%. Listen, you can't, who's the committee selecting someone to come and be in the biggest show in the world? That's not even worth acknowledging. I think it's ludicrous. Whoever said that is a nut job.
So Chris Cormier said it. So.
Wow.
Yeah, they know who they're talking about. Yeah.
Well, we all know they love to throw things out there and pretend they don't know who they're talking about, but we all know they know who they're talking about.
Yeah.
But listen, they could say all they want. I've heard Steve got asked that question, and he said he think it would be a good idea. He never said, that they were pushing or thing, but even Steve said it made sense and it's a good idea. So I guess they could be talking about Steve as well then, if that's what they want to throw out there.
They didn't. Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even remember that. I wish I would have found the clip. I would have totally made a post about that. Now, do I think the invitation is going to work for Olympia? No. I get the idea for wanting to do it, but it's just not going to work. But it does bring up the question and bring awareness to the amount of competitors that are in, maybe not the open right now. I think open is okay, but classic physique and men's physique, bikini, some of the wellness, whatever, the 30 plus people in a classes, that's too much. And
Well,
there should be.
I'm sorry. Let me correct myself. Not the
Yeah.
invitational. Is not what Steve was saying.
Okay.
Everybody was saying, like, let's say you qualified for the Olympia, then you have a show before the main Olympia, so you only have the best of the best on that final stage. What was they trying to say? That was like
like a cut round.
Like a
Yes.
pre-qualification.
Yeah, I think that's what Steve was talking about. So I don't want to
Yeah.
interject the wrong way. But that is what a lot of people were speaking. That makes a little bit more sense. Not that it's going to happen, but that makes a little bit more sense. But then again, we have to say, then you got to cut back on the pro shows. Why do all that? Cut back on the pro shows. So this way, it's not that many athletes in these divisions. I mean, there's so many different ways you could look at it.
Yeah, I like that. Like, it's almost like a semifinals. Like, you get like you got to work your way up there to get in, and then you get the final teams or go to the playoff, right? Like, same thing. Get with these athletes, have a pre-qualification show. I don't know when you would do it. Maybe the Friday. I don't know how you would. See, that's the thing. Like, how would they do it? What day would it be on?
That's what I'm saying. It's tough because they would have to pee twice.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? You have to
there
pee
you
for
go.
this, and you have to pee for the final
that
show.
would, that
The
would
tough
work.
part is, like,
Yeah.
you got these 30-something, 60-something athletes on the stage. We all know the judges already have there's so much activity, so they're looking for the best of the best. And I believe some people do get lost in the shuffle because there's so many freaking guys, So I don't know. Hopefully in the future they can figure it out. So you make it to Olympia. At least you believe in your heart you got a good, fair look, and not just got missed in the shuffle.
Agreed.
I actually came up with the whole solution a few hours ago.
Okay.
Me and Mike Cox did a whole show about this today. And here's how open's fine. We don't have too many open guys in Olympia.
No,
There's only
you're
going
right.
to be 20 or less this year.
Yep.
It's these divisions like that have 100 shows a year, like Bikini does, and MPD does, and Classic does.
Yeah.
We'll
We'll get there. Yeah.
So tier one shows, open shows. Everybody that wins an open show goes to the Olympia. That's fine. There's not that many of them.
Mm-hmm.
Tier one shows, which I guess we could say Arnold, Olympia, Pittsburgh, and Dubai. All the division winners go to the Olympia. Everything else, if your division has more than 25 Olympia qualifiers, you need to win 2 of them to get to the Olympia. 2. And that'll take care. We're not going to have 60 people on stage anymore.
Oh, okay. So Classic would be one of those that qualifies for it. Men's Physique would be one of the shows that it qualified for it. Bikini and one more maybe. Those divisions, when getting throughout the year, you have to win 2 of those shows. So a Classic Physique competitor would have to win 2 pro shows in order to qualify. Yes.
Because if you win if there's 100 bikini shows, all right, I'm picking on bikini. Sorry.
I got to run to the bathroom. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah.
If there's 100 bikini shows in this season, which there are, they're tacked on to like local regional NPC shows all over the place.
Yeah.
They're not every lineup's not going to be very competitive at all. So there's going to be a lot of people that, they earned their way to the Olympia with a win, but they stand no chance. They didn't beat anybody of Olympia caliber to get there. But if you make these people win 2 shows, now it's up the ante, and they've proven themselves. Okay, this girl or this guy, they got 2 pro wins this year. They're not going to. I don't think any of these changes are going to be implemented. They're not going to.
No.
You can't have less pro shows, and you can't do anything that's going to take away the amount of competitors competing. And I think if you tell people you're going to bikini or MPD or class, you got to win 2 pro shows. If you don't win a tier 1 show, a lot of them are just going to say, screw it. I can't win 2 pro shows. I'll be very lucky to win 1. And, that's going to water down the shows. You're not going to have the numbers.
Yeah. So I like the idea. I could see a lot of clap back from the Classic Physique division, men's physique, bikini, saying, well, it's not fair. Why don't the open men have to do this? Well, open men are why you're here. This is where it started, bodybuilding. So they're grandfathered in. They get 1 show. They get to win 1 show, and that's it. They qualify for the Olympia. They started everything.
Yeah.
These classic physique, men's physique. You guys are new. You guys still got to prove yourselves. There's no need to have 60 competitors in a class. You need to do two. You need to win 2 pro shows in order to get to the Olympia. To be on that stage with the open guys. Be on the same stage. Yeah. So, I think that would make sense. Then you don't have to limit the shows. Promoters can have all the shows they want still, make all the money they want to make. But there's got to be some way to filter down these classes. Because we're going to see this year how many people are in these classes. Is it going to be 30 plus, 40 plus again? Probably.
Next year, because next year they're going to have all the fit model pro shows.
Oh, shit. Yeah, it's going to be nuts.
Dude.
Yeah.
It's going to be nuts. I mean, we got the USAs and all these other shows coming up. There's going to be over 80-something pro cards getting out. I mean, it's going to be nuts.
So watch this quick.
Emma, and I'm going to be competing at this year's Muscle Contest USA Championship in Las Vegas, Nevada, July 25th and 26th. At this show, they're going to be awarding 87 pro cards, and I hope to be one of them.
87 pro cards. So when I thought this was a joke, I thought maybe she's just saying it wrong. She doesn't know what she's talking about. Then I went and found the actual post, and it's real. They're awarding 87 pro cards. So please tell me how. There's only like 12 categories or something. So
right, first, second, and third is getting a pro card. I'm assuming. I don't know.
Top three.
Yeah.
Now tell me, why do they feel the need to give third place finisher in a class a pro card?
Because it's a business, man.
Jimmy Mendes said it last week.
Yeah, it's a business. I mean, listen, to get the pro card, what I pay, $270 plus. Whatever, it came out to like $298 after it got hit with whatever charges. So add that up times hundreds of thousands of open pros. It's a business, and it is. What is it right? No, we know it's not, and we know that's why a lot of watered down in the bodybuilding realm, especially if now since we're talking like the open shows, how they're not having like top hitters in like all these open shows. Well, because you got to look at now, like in the MPC level, how many phenomenons of open bodybuilders and super heavy are we really seeing now?
Yeah.
Not
many. Right? It's like, why are we watching this? There's 60 people at the Olympics. Imagine being the audience and watching 60 competitors. You'd be like in a maze. You'd be like, what am I looking at? It's just all blur. It's all these athletes on stage. And it's round after round, like 8th call out in this without a 6. Like, why? What's the point? It's stupid. I know Tyler. I know these guys. I know they know this. They're not dumb. They think like we do. They're part of the sport. They understand this. They must understand, like, having 60 people at the Olympia, at the elite show. What sense does it make anymore? It's gotten out of control, and I don't think they forecast for this. And they're like, let's more money, more fees, more pro cards. We'll make more money for the IPB Pro League. We'll get whatever. And now we're like, oh my God, there's 60 people in the class. Shit, we didn't plan for this.
Yeah.
So now they got
to sit up there for hours. I mean,
yeah,
them judges got to sit up there for a while. Yeah.
Like, they got to do all this shit. I'm sure that they get like bored of like, wow, judged 42nd place here. Like, what?
It goes all the way down to the local shows, because I think the vast majority of amateur competitors now, in their hearts of hearts, believe they deserve to be a pro because they eat their broccoli and chicken, they do their cardio. It doesn't matter how well they compare to other people. They deserve to be a pro. And if you give a lot more opportunities, a lot more pro cards, that drives more competition all the way from the local level up to the national level. And it is a business. It's not, this isn't the merit system. This isn't the Olympics. This is a business. And if it's to thrive, we have to sort of bite the bullet and say, oh, well.
Yeah.
Ron, real quick, it's, I look back, when I wished all this great opportunity. I kind of wish and kind of don't. The opportunity now to go pro was that way when I was fighting, spending tons of money, traveling to all kinds of Caribbean islands, because at the time I had so many big people fighting for me to get into the nationals, but because I was a Jamaican citizen, I mean, now anybody can compete from any country, but what I had to do money-wise to run in other countries just to get qualified. And a lot of them turned their back on me because they were like, okay, well, you represent Jamaica. You're only here because the United States won't give you a pro card. So, of course, the politics, I would never get it there, And I was just blessed when I was told about the Ben Weider Classic to go there. That was a blessing to be able to go there. But I had to win the overall.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't win overall. I wasn't getting
Overall.
anything. You know.
Yeah.
So that's the hurtful part. It's like, and everybody want to compete against old school and new school, but we had to work harder just to get that pro card. And now I sit back, and it's so easy now to get it. And granted, listen, some people deserve it, some people don't. But I don't know, man. If we expect, and this is my personal opinion, nothing against the IFBB or anybody, if we expect like bodybuilding to eventually to really excel, we don't want to water down the sport. I understand business is business, but we want to keep that excitement for people. Like what got me into bodybuilding, watching the Ronnie Colemans and the Lee Haneys and the Frank Zanes, looking at that and saying, damn, man, I can fight hard and I could do what I got to do to make it there. But when you make it so easy, these athletes are not training that hard to win anything because it's too easy to get it.
Yeah. Yeah. I went through it. I mean, I won Canadian nationals in both bodybuilding and classic physique, won the class, but because of the Canadian standard where you have to win the overall, I never got my pro card. But if I was doing it the way they're doing it now in the US, I would have my pro card 2 times over already.
Yep.
Easy. Right. But and that was the good way. I'm glad they didn't just give it away in Canada. They made you had to work for it. You had to win the overall.
Yes, they did.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but they changed it now. They want to open it up. I get it's a business, right? But they should, when it gets to the Olympia level, they need to do some type of tier system like Ron was talking about, or elimination process, or do an invitational. I know what people say, well, politics, blah, blah, blah. But this is the elite. Even like Lee Priest just said, even if you win a pro show, doesn't mean you should be on the Olympia stage, right? I don't know. I mean, at the end, if you're winning a pro show, technically, that's what they did in their day when they won pro shows. So you went to the Olympia, you qualified for the Olympia. So, but then why? I always ask, why does the Arnold get the chance? Why are they allowed to do the invitational? Who made that rule? Where like, hey, Arnold, for your show, it's just a pro qualifier too. It's a qualifier for the Olympia, just like every other pro show. But why does the Arnold Classic get this invitational thing?
That probably was something worked out with him and Ben Weider. Arnold, I don't know. It had to have been worked out back then for why it still lives by that standard. I have no idea. I mean, they probably want the best of the best, and to get in there, you have to get invited. That's what they want. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with either way. I just know that as we go on in the future, if these categories continue to grow, something's going to have to be done in the next year or two, because the Olympia, you're going to be there for 8 to 10 hours now. It's just going to get ridiculous.
Yeah. Ron, did you know, is there any reason? You're the historian in this, you've been writing.
I don't know the original reason, but it's any contest could decide that any promoter could say, I'm going to put on my show invitation only. I'm going to put on the Boston Pro next year. It's going to be invitation only. And you have to apply to get in it. You know, I don't think there's any rule that says you have to let anyone who wants to compete in your show compete. You could do an invitation only. But when we're talking about the Olympia, it just wouldn't work. It just would not work. It's always been based on merit. But the problem is, you know, we didn't have that many pro shows back in the old days, and we didn't have all these divisions, so it wasn't an issue. But now that we have 12, 13 divisions, whatever, I lose count, and we have so many pro shows. There's several pro shows every damn weekend. Every weekend, look at the IFBB Pro.
Sometimes 2 in one week.
No, sometimes there's more, because a lot of, like Bikini MPD Classic, a lot of those pro shows are just, it'll be like the West Bum F Classic, amateur show plus pro men's physique, or plus women's bikini.
Masters 40, like they're combined. There's lots of stuff going on, but hey, Jay Cutler doesn't even go to the show anymore at the Olympia and watch the pre-judging because the finals, because it goes to 1 a.m. So do you want to make a bet now? Is the Olympia finals going to go until 1 a.m.?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
It's still going to go to 1.
Yeah. Maybe 2. I don't know.
It's in Vegas. Yeah, it's going to go to 1 at 2 o'clock.
Yeah. Ridiculous for the audience. Okay, quickly.
People over in Europe have to be up to like 8 in the morning.
Yeah. Just ridiculous, man. I mean, Samson update 15 weeks out.
Looks like a big boy.
He's big, but the skin thickness. What do you think?
He'll be all right. He'll be all
Will he
right.
tighten up in time?
Yeah.
Is he on track for 15 weeks?
This is how he always looks at 15 weeks.
Yeah, but that's the issue. He can't always look the same. He's got to be ahead.
Yeah, if you want to bring in that conditioning that he said he's going to bring in, it would make sense to be a little. It makes sense to be a little ahead, but I mean, he's Mr. Olympia. I can't say nothing. He's going to do what he wants. I mean, the guy is amazing. I believe he will reel it in. How much, I don't know. I think it's yet to be seen. But Samson will mess with us, bro. He did it last year.
Yeah,
and we're all, because I was on board with all the shows he was doing. I was like, there's no way. Then he went to Vegas, and they're out shooting and all out walking.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And then the guy comes back. So I think he likes to like give us reason to talk and then shut us up. I think that's Samson's thing.
Yeah. He knows. He definitely got the message. He knows he needs to bring in that conditioning. He talks about it, like you said, Phil. He was talking about it. He knows what he needs to do. I guess I'm just like, man, I want him to be shredded because I want him. I'm favoring him to win the Olympia. So I'm team Samson. He's got the best shape structurally up there. He should win. He's got the best shape out of all these guys. So there's no reason why he shouldn't be winning the show. But he's up against Hadi Choopan, who's going to be shredded. He's going to be up against Derek Lunsford. Derek, very confident going through the show like he always is.
Yeah.
The quad, he looks, his legs always look big. Yeah. They always look big here until the show day. Which is crazy. Massive. Calves look to be getting bigger. So I think he's still improving. He's younger than Samson. So if anything, he's the one that can shock a lot of people and come in even better than Samson. I don't know if Samson's if he's peaked, right? He's 40 now, 39, 40. But again, there's a lot of genetic freaks out there that can go 45, 46, 48, 50 and still make
Samson got a lot in the tank. His age has nothing to do with this because the amount of muscle and density he's carrying is insane. He knows what he has to do. I truly believe he's going to bring it. He can show us all these pictures and troll us and say, yeah, let's give him something to talk about. But I think that he knows the seriousness of this, that he has to bring it, because if he does not, I don't think he'll regain it again. So I really believe we're going to be shocked. Now, Hadi Choopan, I can't say anything. I don't even know if he's going to be able to get here. I believe he still can with the outlets that he has, but is he going to family to still come here to compete? That's another thing that we don't know. So Samson, I believe, is going to bring the best of the best. Derek, I have a gut feeling he's going to do his best to bring his best, but I don't know if the other two shows basically shot his card for the Olympia. That's what I'm hoping to see. Remember, every prep you do, it's a different prep. Your body do different things. It's not going to respond the same way it did the one prep and the other prep. So once he starts getting deep in prep, we're going to figure out when we start seeing him, is it going to really happen? But I know Samson rest up. He's rested up, and this man is coming, and he's coming. I really believe he's coming.
I would suck if Hadi doesn't make it to the Olympia.
Yeah,
it's not right. It's not right. Then anyone who wins is be like, I won, but but Hadi wasn't there. So I mean, you won, but I mean, toughest competition was next to you. Nick Walker. I'm going to say right now, I don't like the shaved head. Don't know why he did it. There's guys going to.
I was on Facebook when he did it, and I came home with the Patty. Is that a joke? Did Nick shave his head? She said yes. I'm like, he had hair though.
Yeah. There's guys going to Turkey getting hair transplants, and here Nick Walker is shaving his head, full head of hair, thick, rich, full hair.
Yeah, I don't like it. It just makes him look.
It doesn't.
It makes him look like.
It's not working, man. I'm sorry, Nick.
I don't want to say what it makes him look like, but I wouldn't have done that, Nick. He's a good-looking kid. Keep the hair, man.
He had the good hair, man. People die for that hair, Nick. Yeah. Right? And you shaved it. And it just, when you're a bodybuilder, you come with a full package, and the hair is as, it's crazy to think is important when it goes with the flow of your body. Remember when Ronnie Coleman grew his hair back? It's like, no, do you remember that when he had his hair? He had a full head of hair. And Ronnie was the only one.
You
He did.
long time
He was
ago.
like, he was a
like a flat top.
BSN. Yes. I think this is not the same. It made his physique look completely different.
Yeah,
And it was weird. It was
he's
like, nah,
better
man.
bald. Ronnie
Yes.
is better bald. Yeah.
Yes. So same thing. It's like the opposite. It's like, man, why'd you do this, brother? Why?
He probably think it's going to make him look even bigger on stage.
No.
I'm just making up shit.
It's not.
Probably Martin is bald too, and he's like, shit, it's working for Martin. Let me try it. I don't freaking know. I wish I could get Beef Stew to cut his hair.
Didn't Beef shave his head?
Had no choice.
Beef have it still. He grew his hair back.
Okay.
He did shave it, but he grew it back.
Yeah. Yeah, Martin. Yeah, I guess it works for Martin because that's what we've always seen him with, right? We've never seen Martin with hair.
No, it's always low, or now he's bald.
Yeah. So, anyways, I mean, it's just kind of poking fun at Nick Walker, but I don't know. I don't like it. He looks as a different person. Doesn't look at the same. It's weird. Anyways, but he looks good. He's staying very lean for 15 weeks out. Mm-hmm. Tremendous. He's in there. I have Nick Walker in the top 4. I'm gonna just put it there. He can be in that top 4.
He's keeping that waist in check. He's keeping himself in good condition. All the boxes he's checking.
Yeah. So, even though I know the waist is a little bit of whatever with me, but when he hits the poses, it's tight. So that's what matters because that's what they're judging. Although I think they should be judging even when you stand off to the side and you let it relax. That's what Lee Haney doesn't like when you let it hang out. That shows who that's what your physique is. But it is what it is. Nick's going to be definitely in the mix there. And I got Derek, Samson. We did Hadi. We didn't post too many updates, so we'll probably leave it there. We'll wrap it up. But yeah, so it's going to be exciting. Before you know it, the Olympia is going to be here. Not making predictions yet, but Hadi, you can tell. Do you notice any theme here with Hadi in these posts?
I haven't seen anything.
The quads, leg training,
Oh,
back to back quad. It's all the focus is the quads. He knows, so he knows he needs to bring those wheels up to be more competitive. And they were a little undersized last year. We noticed. And he needs to bring the fullness in the quad. So he's heavy leg training, and hopefully Hadi makes it to the Olympia.
Yes.
And Baruz.
We need him there.
Yeah. Baruz, I don't think's coming, but Hadi, he should be good. Things are calmed down in Iran right now, so he'll make it. He'll be here. All right, guys, we went a little over our hour here, but thanks again, guys. And again, before you go to bed, say a prayer.
Yes.
For Ronnie Coleman.
Ronnie Coleman. Big Ronnie Coleman.
Yeah.
Sorry, I wasn't even sharing the right screen.
Everybody needs to really say a prayer for this beautiful man because he's done so much for every last one of us in the bodybuilding world with his time. Like what Ron said, doing some things that he's not really making money to do. So sometimes we get a lot of great people in our lives and we have to hold on to that. Life is so short. I'm trying to tell you guys right now, just with stuff I see in Florida with my clients and people dying, and one person just saw this member and now that member's not there. And, we're in very sad times now, you know what I mean? And we have to reach out to each other, love on each other, talk to each other. If we're going through anything, deal with anything, because we don't want, to hear something happens to you and now we're sitting and we're talking about it, especially for when it comes to great people. I know I wouldn't want that to be me. So say some prayers for Big Ronnie Coleman, man. It's very sad for me, even talking, knowing what he's going through. So yeah, man, everybody say prayer for this guy. Lift him up spiritually. And trust me, all things are possible. So love you, Ron.
Love you, Ron.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we'll leave it on that note. And we'll be back next week. And hopefully Ronnie's doing good. He's
Yes.
speaking. And we're going to pray we'll put it into the environment. That's going to happen.
Amen.
Next Monday, Ronnie's going to be up and saying, yeah, buddy. Again, we're making us laugh like he always does.
Nothing but
All
a
right.
peanut.
Nothing but a peanut. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. All right.
All right,
Okay, guys.
Ron, take care of your shoulder, buddy.
Yeah, man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks
All right.
again, guys. Okay, take
All
care.
right. Take care.
Peace.
Bye.
Yep.